Hello, gamers, and welcome back to another episode of the Musketeers of Media podcast. I am Toad, or Andrew, your host, and then to my top left, I have Allie Gaming, or Tanner, the other host, and then we have another host, and Eli, who is right above me to my right.
Batman.
He is Batman indeed. All right, gentlemen, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so our first topic is Barbenheimer, and then our second topic is TikTok. Now, I know our last podcast episode, we talked about there being TikTok in the episode, and there was not TikTok in the episode. That's purely because we talked about everything else for so long. So we apologize that we didn't get to it, but I mean, sometimes we just go on and on and on. So it doesn't. We'd rather it be natural rather than very structured, I guess. It just makes it for a better experience for you guys. So, anyway, to start this out, there are spoilers for both Barbie and Oppenheimer. We're going to try to not spoil the entire movies, but there will be spoilers because we're just interviewing each other about our experiences. Because I went and seen Barbie, and then Tanner and Eli went and seen Oppenheimer. Not together, but they went and seen Oppenheimer. And so we are going to go, we're going to talk about our experiences of not only watching the movie, but like how the theater experience is now, and then the movie itself, how we felt like each character did, and how we felt like our first impressions were before we seen the movie, and then afterwards how we feel about it. But anyway, we will start with I will be interviewing the Oppenheimer crew. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
So my first question will go to Tanner. Tanner, what was your initial thoughts of the movie going into it, knowing that it's stuff that has happened in real life, and these are based on true events, correct?
Okay, so going into the movie, we went to the movie for a friend of mine's birthday, and I'm going to be 100% honest. I had no idea what Oppenheimer was going into it.
Really? Okay.
I haven't seen a single trailer. All I had to go off was the poster that was in the lobby. So I saw explosions, and I was like, "Oh, it's a action movie, like Michael Bay type shit."
Mm-hmm.
It was not. So I went in completely blind. I had no preordained opinion on it.
Nice. Okay. So Tanner, you didn't have an opinion on it, but Eli, I want to know your first opinions on it, because I think me and you were pretty into hip culture, hippity hoppity culture, on movies and stuff like that. So what was your initial thoughts on Oppenheimer before watching it, knowing that it's a historical movie?
So I'm kind of basing this off Tanner. I did not at first I did not know what this was going to be about.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Christopher Nolan in the title. I'm like, okay, I'm not a fan of him, but whatever.
Right.
And then I sat through the full 3 hours somehow, and my opinion changed very quickly. This was definitely a movie to go and watch, and if you got the time, do it.
So you say you said something about you not liking Christopher Nolan. You say would you say after the movie you do like him? You're a fan of Christopher Nolan?
I mean, it's still about the same, but I think it's more of a less that I kind of respected him for doing a role. He did such a great job in his role as Robert Oppenheimer, and I think that was really good.
All right. Okay. So what did you? We'll give Eli this next question, and then we'll give it to Tanner. But Eli, real quick, what cinema did you go? Did you go to a local cinema, or did you go to a well-known one? And if you did go,
I went to, what's the name? I went to the one out in Hastings with a friend of mine. I don't remember the name.
Is it just a local one?
Looking it up. GQT Hastings 4. That's the movie theater I went to.
Okay. And what was your? Because I know a lot of people have not a ton of people go to movies anymore. They usually like to watch it on streaming services when it comes out.
Yeah.
How was your experience then when you went?
It was fine. I mean, excuse me, it was a little bit pricey, but like the tickets were like $8. My popcorn and my drink for like 11, so I paid like $22 for it
That's
all,
still not
which was
bad.
a ripoff.
I mean, that's
But
still not bad. But
right.
yeah. So would you say that they have changed, or do you say it's about the same when it comes to movie theater experience to past
I mean,
experiences?
I've never been to that movie theater. This was my first time going, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of small. It's in downtown Hastings. It's pretty
Okay.
small, but it was pretty enjoyable. It was pretty my seat was comfortable, and yeah.
That's good. All right. So Tanner, I'll pop this question over to you. It's just the same question. How would you say your movie theater experiences are after like streaming services has come out?
So I love going to movie theaters mainly just because of just the atmosphere of watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a lot more enjoyable to see it with their type of surround sound and on a big screen.
Right.
Just because see something like Oppenheimer or like Endgame or something like that. It really those type of atmospheres for movies really drive in that this movie has put in like years and years of work that not everybody really knows, but once you know the work that goes into especially a movie like Oppenheimer, um, it really drives on the coffin to realize that um, seeing people seeing their movie in a theater is really what the goal was.
Okay. I can definitely I actually really like that answer because that's definitely what I was thinking when it came to that stuff. It's like when you hold on, my fan keeps doing something. Go ahead, Tanner.
Film student.
Right. Right. And Tanner is actually a film student, so he does. I can see you loving theaters and stuff like that, just because of the aspect of like when you make a movie, that's what you're looking to do, and that's your
Yeah.
end goal right there is to put something on that, excuse me, on that screen. But
Yeah.
all
And
right,
I have,
sorry,
but
continue.
actually, for later, I actually do have a lot of things to say about Oppenheimer as a film student.
Okay. Yeah, we can go into that. Because from what I've been told, I have not seen it, but from what I've been told, it is actually like film-wise some of the best stuff that you'll see from Hollywood. And so I'm excited to go into that. But Tanner, we'll give you this next question. What would you say, or who would you say, put the performance on that most surprised you when it came to the movie?
Robert Downey Jr.
Really? Okay. All right. Interesting. Go.
Wait, he was in the movie?
Yeah. Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. was in the movie.
So Robert Downey Jr. plays a character. I can't remember his first name, but he's mainly called by his last name Strauss. Who it is? And
Is he one of the army guys?
no, he's the
Okay.
guy. He was the guy in the court case. The
Oh, yeah. I know
scenes
what
that
you're
are
talking about.
black and white.
Yep.
He played this character who was um who first admired Oppenheimer, but then later on in the movie, it's revealed that Oppenheimer embarrassed him publicly, and since then,
Oh, yeah.
Oppenheimer has put not Oppenheimer Strauss has been putting down dominoes to bring down
Get him.
Oppenheimer, including sending out their records showing that they used to be or used to contacts to those who were communist.
Mm.
Yeah, okay, now I know what you're talking about. I had no idea
So
that was him.
yeah, so it was a I haven't seen many movies with Robert Downey Jr. other than Iron Man and a select few others. But it
Mhm.
was very interesting to see him play that sort of like sister role, I would feel, in this film.
Mhm.
Okay. I
So
mean,
that surprised me the most, and I was really happy with it.
that's actually an amazing answer. I love that. So Eli, what would you say is like your most surprising, like going into the movie after coming out of the movie after watching it, you would say, "Wow, I was not expecting this out of this actor."
So Robert Downey Jr. was the second one that I had no idea was in the movie. To answer that, it would be Matt Damon who played the soldier in that movie.
All right, hold on. Let me look up his because I have not seen it.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer cast. He played Matt Damon. He played Leslie Grooves.
Yep. He was so basically his role was he came into Oppenheimer's lab when he was teaching physics in college, and he says, "Look, I know you." Basically, it's not line for line, but he knows that Oppenheimer has this power to make something as big as an atomic bomb, and Oppenheimer does end up recruiting him onto his team to help push out um, the bomb make for the bombing of Hiroshima. Um, I think he did a role. Now I know Matt Damon. Oh boy, I haven't seen a Matt Damon movie in a while, but I've seen him more as like on the funnier side a little bit. And this was more of a serious. Wow, English. This was more of a serious role, and I think he did a pretty good job doing that.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that. Yeah, I can definitely say Matt Damon is definitely one that I've watched more of his funnier movies. I can't think of really any of them off the top of my head, but I know I've seen a ton of them. And I usually like what Matt Damon's in. He's usually not bad, so I'm glad to hear that he again did a pretty good job in Oppenheimer. But all right,
Mm-hmm.
so on to our next question, and we'll start with you, Eli. Um, out of out of this movie, what would you rate it? Like at a scale of 1 out of 10, or like yeah, from 1 to 10, and 1 being really bad, 10 being amazing. What would you give it in the grand scheme of like movies?
I definitely think I would give it probably a 9 out of 10. This for what it is of reenacting history. There's not a lot of movies slash TV shows that do that, and I think this is a top that does. I would say this movie is pretty accurate to restructuring and teaching what happened, what Robert Oppenheimer did, and show why he built the atomic bomb for President Truman so they can use it on the attacks during Pearl Harbor. Um, Towards the end is where it kind of got me, like a little bit like wow, because I didn't know a lot about Oppenheimer. I knew about the bombing that happened,
Mm-hmm.
but this is basically part of this is the end of the spoiler. Oppenheimer becomes really depressed about what he did, basically,
Oh,
and
okay.
hold um became really depressed of what he did, and I'm like, okay, wow, this has gone to a whole nother level of what, because they don't really show like people who build stuff for the war or do stuff for the war. Nine
That's
times
fair.
out of 10 they're very proud of themselves, and they did it a little bit differently, showing that he was, and this is based on a true story, that Oppenheimer was really depressed and felt bad for what he did.
That's so you would say it shows more of a like the human aspect of Robert Oppenheimer rather than like just the facade that he may put on from time to time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
And kind of going off rating thing, I think this falls in like my top historically accurate movies. Well, more or less during World War II, at least.
Okay. So Tanner, I will flip this over to you. What would you give the review for this movie and like just a little how you felt about it? If you wanted to go into the film side of it right now is the best time to do that.
All right.
But give
So
the rating
okay,
first. But give the rating first, okay?
I'm gonna give my initial rating. Then I have a couple more ratings.
Okay, all
My
right, all right.
initial rating of the movie, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay. Like you think it's perfect.
between- Yeah. Okay. Now going into like the screenplay itself is so well written
Mm-hmm.
because you have it's one of those movies where you're getting bits and pieces at different times.
Okay.
So you have one point in I don't know the date, but when Oppenheimer is looking to be looking towards his clearance in the states,
Mm-hmm.
you have a um, Secretary of State on a court case going on with Strauss, both relating to Oppenheimer, and then you have the initial like um, Oppenheimer building and working at a school, and from that to research on the bomb to building the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the initial story of him building it and what led up to that, and you also have the aftermath of what he did, and that's where you really see that kind of go down.
Mm-hmm.
Screenplay, 10 out of 10.
Perfect.
Cinematography, I loved it. Like halfway through watching the movie, being a film student, I started realizing that I should have brought a notepad
Oh.
because of some of the things they used in the movie. Never really seen or noticed in other movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like no, before they first tested the bomb, you get this moment in one of the other flash forwards
Mm-hmm.
where Oppenheimer is getting overwhelmed with everybody questioning him and his motives and why he's doing what he's doing, and you get this like flash flashback or flash forward to people stomping their feet, and at first when you first hear it, it kind of sounds like something that happened earlier in the film where it kind of sounded like a train was starting.
Okay.
So you have like that slow build of a train engine like moving the wheels and puffing out gas, smoke, but then it gets louder and louder and louder. Then you flash to a scene of people stomping their feet in excitement on bleachers. So I felt like that was really cool to convey because later on in the film, after he does the bomb test, you see that scene of everybody he's going to speak to everybody, and as he's walking in, they start stomping their feet like that. Um, Another thing they did in the film that I've never really seen is all the moments where it is being told or Robert Downey Jr. is kind of in the center of scenes. It turns black and white,
Okay.
and everything else in the movie, when Strauss is nowhere to be seen, it is completely colored.
Why do you think they did that?
I think they did it to show that the significance of Strauss and Oppenheimer's relationship
Okay.
in the long run. Um, because it's not revealed till like little past halfway in the movie that Strauss was like the mastermind behind all these cases against Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
So cinematography, 10 out of 10. I could go so much more, but I'd be talking for hours.
Okay, yeah, because we got to go to Barbie. All right, so you guys have got to.
I got one more. It's
Okay.
much shorter.
Okay.
The acting, I can tell everybody in the film brought like 110% to acting. It was all super convincing. I didn't even realize it was Robert Downey Jr. at the beginning of the film,
Which is good.
which is good because one, um, he's balding in the film, I think,
Yeah,
or
he's.
something like that.
Mhm.
And so on and so forth. His acting just different, other than other films I've seen him in.
Right.
Great. The guy who played Oppenheimer, I've only seen clips of the show he's in. It's hold on, I can probably bring it up, but his acting was like amazing.
Yeah,
in it.
Cillian Murphy.
Yep.
Josh Peck was in this movie?
Yeah, Josh Peck.
I didn't even know that.
I think
Yeah,
it's pronounced Peaky Blinders. The show he's in is a much big shift between these two roles, and he did amazing in both.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
Let me clear something up just real quick. I think either I or me and Eli have referred to Cillian Murphy as Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan's not in this movie. I don't know why we.
I'm stupid.
No, it's
Christopher
not your
Nolan
fault.
directed this movie.
Yeah, I.
I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
because I
that's
started
not right.
doing that too. I started doing it too. Cillian
Wait, who are you
Murphy.
confusing to be?
We thought
I
Cillian
thought
Murphy
Christopher
was
Nolan
Christopher
played
Nolan.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. Because I did the same thing. I followed with, and we both did it. All right. So what were you gonna say, Eli? Sorry.
I think this movie did actually have really surprising cameos, like showing up, like Matt Damon, like Robert Downey Jr. and all those other people. I was like, because when I watched the credits roll, I'm like, oh, I'm surprised he was in this movie, like stuff like that. I was
Rami
very
Malek
shocked,
was in
and
the
they
movie.
did phenomenal.
Rami Malek is crazy that he's in that movie. Anyway, yeah, let's move on to Barbie, which is gonna be fun because I didn't hate the movie. I didn't hate Barbie, but I didn't love it as much as you guys seem to love Oppenheimer. So,
Bro, Oppenheimer is Chef's kiss.
Okay, all right. So who wants to start the first question off with Barbie? We'll bounce between you two. You guys can repeat questions I've already asked.
Okay.
Okay.
I got one. Eli, do you have one?
I do have one.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm excited.
I'll go first because fuck you.
Ow.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Shit. What would you rate the Barbie movie?
Like just out of 10?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go
I'm
deep
curious
dive?
if you want, you can.
No.
Okay, all right. I'll do a deep dive into it.
Okay,
God
great.
damn it.
Fuck yeah! All right.
You're never
so
getting the question.
I I would give it a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. It was not anywhere near perfect. That is very, very honest. I think there were a lot of unnecessary moments that got there were just some things in there that were just like, why is this in a Barbie movie? But then there were other moments that were so freaking funny. Let me be very clear. This movie is not a children's movie. Even if it's advertised as one, it is not a children's movie. You can take your kids to go see this. Like, there's enough there to, like, disguise it as a kid's movie. But as an adult watching it, it is not a kid's movie. There are so many sexual fucking jokes during the movie. It is not a kid's movie. And it's also not like what you would think as a Barbie movie. It was very, very good. I don't think the best character, though, was Barbie. I thought the best performance by far was Ryan Gosling as Ken. Ryan Gosling as Ken. I disagree. Well, you haven't seen the movie. Ryan Gosling
No, but I've seen the trailer and I do not like him.
Okay, hold on. Until you watch the movie, please don't. Because I don't want to hear it until you've watched the movie. Because the trailer does not show everything of Ryan Gosling. Like, Ryan Gosling does so much else in that movie. like the there was literally a whole scene about him flexing and like showing off his muscles with a bunch of other like Kens, I guess you could say, and an Alan. And they were all just fighting for no, like, literally no reason, other than the fact that they wanted to be, what was it, what was the word they kept throwing around everywhere? Oh, dang it, I'm trying to remember what that word was. They were throwing a word...
Was it the one where Ken's only, like, thing he had to do was say something about the beach, but then they kept on saying, yeah,
no, but that was
I'm
funny.
gonna beat you off.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat you off, which was really funny. That was in the beginning of the movie. Because the movie starts out with Barbie, like, in her dream world. Like, she's in her world, she's Slay Queen, right? She go around, she says, hi, Barbie, hi, Barbie. They go around and do all that stuff, right? Barbie floats into her little car, and she drives around, and it's a perfect day in Barbie's little world, right? She goes around throughout her day, and then it comes to the end of the day where it's like, she's dancing, she's getting it down. And so are all the other Kens, and then there's an obvious beef between two Kens, and one of them is Ryan Gosling, and the other one I don't remember the actor's name is, but it was, there was this weird beef between each other, but it was whatever. Like, it doesn't come up till later in the movie where they have the civil war of Kens, but this holy shit. The party goes amazing up until, like, close to the very end when Barbie says something about death. She's like, well, what happens after death? And they're all like, bro, what the fuck? You just brought the vibe from up here all the way down here, bro. Calm down. And that's pretty much what they told her. And then she was like, oh yeah, haha, I'm funny, I'm so quirky, because I'm stereotypical Barbie, yay! And, like, they had different Barbies for everything, and the main character, like, Margot Robbie plays stereotypical Barbie, like, and I'm being super flamboyant about it, because that's kind of what this movie is, flamboyant, like...
I'm laughing at you, but I also just looked up the cast list.
Okay.
To Barbie.
It's huge, it's literally huge. John Cena's in the fucking movie.
Making me laugh.
I know he is.
Luke Mullen, character name, guy at the beach.
Yeah, yep. That is literally, like, I see it right here, too. I literally see it.
This is why it's so funny. Because you have Barbie, Ken, and then nothing else. Maybe, like, Alan, Georgia, Sasha. I don't know how to say that. Aaron, Matthew, but then you have guy at the beach. None of then you
couldn't
John
pronounce
Cena.
Midge. John Cena, yeah, he was a Ken. John Cena was a Merken.
Merken, no.
Yeah, he was a Merken.
That's the only reason why I would go to that movie.
He was in it for 2 seconds. If he's the only reason, I would not go. He is literally in it for 2 seconds. Anyway, Will Ferrell's in the movie.
Go to something with John Cena.
I'll
always follow John Cena.
That's so weird. That's such a weird character to do that with, but sure, like a weird celebrity. Anyway, let's go back to the story. So back to it. So they go, and the whole beach off scene is in the beginning, like during that perfect day where they're like, oh, well, I'll beach off you, and they're like, oh, I'll beat you off, and it's like. It's a really funny scene.
Beach, right?
Beach, yeah. But after a while, they literally say beat. Oh. No, that's the point, because they say it so much, it sounds like beat you off. That's why, like, that's the funny point.
I watched the thing about this. It wasn't in the script for them to do that.
What?
That's wasn't in the
crazy.
Script.
Oh.
Ryan Gosling's, like, only instruction was to bring up something about the beach that they were on. Then he said that line, and everybody, they knew what they were doing. They fully knew what they were doing. But they were just like, let's go with it. So yeah, I heard that story, and I was like, there's no way this is a kid's movie.
No, it's not. It's very satire. That's the only reason why I loved it so much. Because I did love the movie. It was very satire, and it wasn't stereotypical Barbie. Like, as much as there is a stereotypical Barbie in the movie, and that's the main character, the movie is not a Barbie movie. Like, it isn't. You can, like, people, I don't like Barbie. I don't like Barbie at all. I've never once seen a Barbie movie, but I know what they're about, and they're very stereotype. Like, oh no, my poodle got fucked by Ken. Bad Ken, bad.
No. The Barbie movies before this movie sucked so bad. They were
No,
bad.
I know.
movies.
I know.
We're making a short out of that. That needs to be a short because that's way too funny.
I just imagine.
Wow.
Like
This
imagining
just
a
went from a
little
5
girl
to like
coming
a
up with
10.
this scenario with her Barbie doll.
So anyway,
Bloody hell.
I won't go too more into the movie because if I do, I'm going to start, like, I don't
Oh,
want to get
dear.
into the spoiler territory because the movie is actually very good and it has a decent story in it, but it's very funny. The movie is very stupid funny. Like, if your comedy is stupid comedy, you will love the Barbie movie. I promise you. And, like, I don't love the idea that people won't go see it because it's a Barbie movie. Like, it really isn't. Anyway.
Bro, it's got Fred from
I don't want to be a
Scooby-Doo.
cuck,
I'm
that's
all
why.
in.
I'm not a cuck. I fuck my wife.
That was a joke.
I don't have a wife. I was joking as well.
I was
Neither do
talking about how fucking Fred was in it from fucking Scooby-Doo. Then I hear, I'm not a cuck. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Because Eli was saying, I'm not gonna go watch it. I'm not a cuck, and I'm like, I'm not a cuck. I fuck my wife. All right. Anyway, let's get back on topic.
Wow.
Eli, what was your question for me?
Honestly, I forgot.
That's fair. That's fair. Do we want to quickly think up of one, or?
I do have another one.
Okay.
All right. Whenever you remember, Eli, we'll switch over to you. Okay. All right. Anyway, Tanner,
Besides Ryan Gosling, because you've already said you love him in the movie.
Yeah.
What performance surprised you the most?
Surprised me?
Yeah.
Let's. Yeah.
Obviously, I'm so sorry. Ryan Reynolds, like.
He sadly wasn't in the movie. I don't know where he was. Why didn't they get him? Where was he? What is this?
You know what? He's probably like really busy with Deadpool 3, I'm being honest.
Well, they're on strike. They're on strike though.
There's been scenes.
Daddy Ryan.
Shut up.
Imagine Ryan Reynolds as a Ken.
Yeah, that would be gorgeous.
I mean,
No.
that would convince me to go.
I just had an idea for a Ryan Reynolds cameo.
Oh no.
So like Barbie goes to the real world, right?
Right.
So imagine if she sees like Ryan Reynolds, just him as himself, thinks he's a Ken because he looks so damn good.
Right. Of course.
And then he's just like,
and she just fucks him.
No.
What?
No. And he puts on a Deadpool mask and walks away.
Okay,
that's what I was literally just thinking. I'm like,
that would have been good. Okay, back to your question though. The question was, for me, what performance surprised me the most? I would definitely say, I'm swaying back and forth, but I want to go Will Ferrell, just because like he is a decent part in it, and like, I mean his part does impact the movie a lot, and his part is very funny. It's just so stupid funny. Like, it's very on brand for Will Ferrell. Like, it's very, very on brand. And they're like the few people in the real world that act like Barbie people. Because there's a certain way that Barbie people act. Like, they have this certain idea in their head. And Will Ferrell and, like, the board members also have that same idea. And so it's really funny to see them, like, interact with the real world because they're just as clueless and fucking weird as Barbie is in that world. So it's really funny to see all of them just kind of walk around. And then there's an entire chase scene with a Chevy Traverse and 2 Suburbans that just doesn't make sense at all. It's like, okay, this is happening now. But it's so funny because it's a Barbie movie. Like, understanding that it's a Barbie movie and this is all happening. But
yeah. Speaking of Will Ferrell, no surprise, that being your top pick because he's an amazing actor. I love him. But
Right.
I saw a video just to go off the rail a little bit on a theory with the Barbie movie.
Okay.
Because Will Ferrell is like a CEO.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. He's like the.
And then, and then in the Lego movie,
I was just about to
he's
say
a
that.
CEO type character who plays with
No.
toys.
No.
Wait. But why would he be so obsessed with toys as an adult? Well, maybe because he worked in a toy factory.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
the number one toy factory as an elf for Santa Claus.
What the fuck?
The fact that that's accurate is scary.
My mind is blown. What? That's crazy.
I know. And I haven't even watched it.
Because I mean, like I've watched the movie, that fits really well. Like I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, Eli, do you remember your question yet or no?
I just made one up. So I've been told there's a lot of Easter eggs in this movie. Did you see any at all?
Yes, there were a ton of Easter eggs. Like there was, I guess we can name a couple. There was one where there was a discontinued pregnant Barbie that actually came out at one point, and they had a character named, like, after the Barbie. And I think I almost want to say it was Midge or something like that, but she was a very big punching bag during the movie, but it was also really funny still, because it was like, who the fuck's going to play with a pregnant Barbie? That was such a dumb idea. But that was a like Easter egg. There was a few other ones. I just don't remember them off the top of my head. But the pregnant Barbie was definitely one that stuck to me because I just thought it was so stupid and funny. But yeah, I don't think there's any other ones.
There actually is.
No, there is other ones. I just don't know them off the top of my head.
So this is also, it's an Easter egg and also a conspiracy at the same time. So
Okay.
apparently in the scene when Barbie walks up to the middle schoolers, the 4 girls,
Yeah, yep.
rumor has it that's the company rival, the Bratz dolls, and they have the same names.
Ooh, that's kind of good. It's smaller than what Tanner had, but it's still good. That is still good. I love conspiracy theories about movies. They're so much fun to like toy with a little bit. All right, so we have run out of time for the Barbie or Barbenheimer side of this, but I've loved talking about it as far as we have. We could talk about it for literally forever because both movies were amazing. Barbie was amazing, and you guys are saying Oppenheimer was amazing. So I'm excited. It probably is.
Probably, not gonna lie, but
our next topic is TikTok. Now, this one's a bit of a fun topic that we have coming, but we're gonna talk about our opinions of it and kind of talk about why we have our specific opinions. So and then kind of like talk about it with each other, like ask why we have these specific opinions about it. So who wants to start us out with that?
Me.
Okay, Eli, you want to go?
me.
All right.
Please.
All right, go.
So with this app, there's a lot of positive, I will say, out that I see on TikTok. There's a lot of funny people. There's a lot of people who want to get their name out there and try to make it into the big world and all that stuff. And I fully support that. Then there's the negatives. There's always something to do with politics on it. And this app is designed for kids our age. And yes, we should worry about that, but we have different outlets for that. Like, it frustrates me what I see politically going on. I'm like, why? I understand this is what your motive is, but like, in the end of the day, you can't end up hurting people that do this. And there's a lot of how do I say this in the most non-inappropriate way possible? A lot of the people bouncing their hoo-has for attention. Like, I cannot tell you how many people there are, how
Show
much
their
that is.
inappropriate bits.
Shut up. I cannot tell you how much there English, how much there is of that on TikTok, and nobody gets banned from it. Nobody does, and nothing happens. They let it go.
Yeah.
But if somebody talks about what happens in the day of their life, their account gets banned, and that doesn't make any sense to me, in my opinion.
Right.
Do I think this is a platform for people to try to extend their content and try to put themselves out there? Absolutely. There's somebody I recently started following. He's a very small musician, and I listened to one of his songs that was being promoted, and it turned out it was really good because it kind of related to me, of what he talks about. And yeah, I think it is a good thing, but I also think there is a bad thing. This app it needs to be redone. There's got to be the people who work their asses off to promote, to put themselves out there, and they need to get rid of the people that just drive the app down the drain.
That's fair. That is fair. Did you have anything else you wanted to add to that yet, or no?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. Tanner, do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
I can go.
Okay.
So
Okay. First,
My
what side are you on with this? Are you like TikTok? TikTok's good or TikTok's bad?
I'm in the middle
Okay. I think everyone
That's where
is
I
in a way.
stand too.
Okay.
because so when I was a young lad, I did a lot of stuff TikTok. And on TikTok, I would do cosplays, just making my own characters, my own stories, and they did relatively good.
Okay.
And they still are. Like, I get commenting and um liking videos that I made 3 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird because I go to look at it and I just cringe. But um like 3 years ago, that was my safe place. And it was for so many other people because um it was like just it used to be Musically, and that's what it started as, and then it became TikTok, and right in there I think that was like the peak of TikTok because it was just so new and so fresh. There wasn't anyone trying to like break the system in a way. But now
Right.
you have, while you still have plenty of accounts that are actually doing good stuff, also get like bombarded with these quite honestly bullshit videos of just insert movie or TV show clip and then
Subway Surfer.
Subway Surfer or any generic like iPhone game.
Mm-hmm.
And it really sucks because every now and then I'll get like a masterpiece of a video and I'll genuinely laugh, but it's only got like less than 100 views just because of those videos taking up the entire algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Um, but what I don't really follow politics too much unless I absolutely feel the need to.
Mm-hmm.
So TikTok politics doesn't really affect me. It's mainly um people on it also make me not want to like it because I'm gonna go with the biggest one probably out there. The vegan teacher.
Oh,
boy.
she's not on that platform anymore. But yes.
He's
Yeah.
banned everywhere.
She is. She's back.
Oh, she's back?
He's
What?
serious.
She's back.
Here we go again.
Is it under the same handle or no? Is it different?
No.
I don't know. I just saw a video saying she's back. When she's come back. This is her third time. When she
No,
came back,
no. This is like her 10th time.
Yeah.
He's been banned so many
big
times.
big like comeback that made news
Okay. I get
her
what you
third
mean.
time. The second time she came back, she started with trying to go after Dream, saying that she made the like Dream's like logo and he stole it.
Right.
but then she got banned. This third time she came back, she didn't particularly go after someone. Um, I follow and someone I respect very much, Trace. He's an actor. He's a filmmaker. No, scriptwriter, so on and so forth. I respect him very much. He just recently, past like year, had a kid, had a daughter, got married.
Mm-hmm.
She comes back, congratulating Ethan Trace, who Ethan Trace was one like the top dog trying to get her banned.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes on congratulating him on raising a beautiful, healthy vegan child. Trying to get clout off of his child. That's where Doc falls behind because they let that happen.
Right.
Two things. One, not have consent to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Make a video about someone else's child.
Right.
It's different if you're a friend, but she should be in jail for this, or at least fined millions of dollars or whatever
Or
she got.
she
from
shouldn't be on social media in general.
Right.
That's the next point. She shouldn't be on social media in general. The other thing is that's just plain wrong to like, try to make the public think one thing
Mm-hmm.
and make them look like the bad guys, just like trying to prove her wrong.
Right.
And I don't know if they pressed charges, Ethan and the mother. I hope they did, because that's just a horrible thing to do, especially to like a child that's less than a year old.
Right.
Right.
No,
But
yeah,
yeah, that's where I stand on TikTok. Like I love it, but I hate the people on it.
okay.
Yeah, there's
Sorry. So I'm on the negative camp. I think TikTok is a horrible platform. I like the way it's I guess the scroll aspect of it, and I like what it's done to other platforms. But I think TikTok itself is the worst example of that algorithm or of that style. And the reason why is because it has now programmed our brains to constantly need jingling keys in front of our faces. It is constantly programmed our brains to only be able to have an attention span of a minute or of 3 minutes, and it's like, what is going on? And having the Subway Surfer below the screen, that's horrible. And it's also caused people to do this dunking thing. For some reason, everything has to be a dunk. Every piece of content has to be dunking on someone else in some way, shape, or form when it comes to gaming. And this is what because this is where I usually reside, is the gaming section. And most times than not, when you're in an argument with somebody, you have to do some kind of dunk, some kind of thing that slams dunks and makes it amazing, and it's the climax of the situation, which can be good. And I'm not saying they need to post the boring parts of everything, but the everything is just like, I kind of feel like it makes a very toxic atmosphere when everybody's just trying to get clips for TikTok and get dunks. Everybody's trying to dunk on each other. Like I keep saying the word dunk, but there's not a really better way of doing it, of saying it.
right.
It's like it's a constant trying to make somebody look bad, and I don't like that, and I don't respect that type of content, because if you cannot make good content without swearing, if you cannot make good content without being an idiot, if you cannot make good content without hurting other people, you should not be in an influencer position. I don't think they should be taking them deplatforming people, though. I don't think deplatforming is the answer, because it never has been. They deplatformed Andrew Tate, and there were more and more people who rised up and were just as bad as him. And you could use that with tons of different examples. What's the one talk show guy who said the water's making the frogs gay or some shit like that? Like he got deplatformed and he's done nothing but get bigger because it doesn't happen very often. And deplatforming people isn't solving anything, and it's silencing people. And people should not be silenced. But I think stupid people are just really annoying. Like, there's not really a better way of doing it because deplatforming just doesn't work. Like, taking people off of platforms like Twitter, like anything like that just doesn't work. It's not going to. So I don't like the atmosphere it has created, and I don't like the fact that it's kind of ruined, in a way, it has ruined long-form content. Long-form content has got to constantly be throwing subtitles. It's got to constantly be making up for the fact that it's not 60 seconds. And so, as somebody who makes content, that upsets me because I have to work double as hard as the people who started this platform out. Like, the people who were doing the Let's Plays and the Minecraft videos didn't have to have these subtitles. They didn't have to have all of this stuff. Yet they are making tons of money because they adapted to it. And so I'm not saying it should go back to the old way because I am one of those people who's completely adapted to the subtitles and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean it's not upsetting the fact that we have to have subtitles in videos and the fact that we have to constantly have something else up on the screen because if you go longer than, I don't know, 10 seconds of nothing on the screen or it's the same thing on the screen, people will get upset. And so I'm just not, from a content creator aspect, I don't love TikTok. And it's also shortened the way we tell stories because we have to tell them within 60 seconds. And that's on YouTube Shorts, but like the general idea is 60 seconds or 30 seconds.
So,
I also haven't, hold on. I have not been on TikTok in about a year. I think I've been off TikTok. That's not uploading, but that's completely, like, I have not been on, I don't have TikTok on my phone. It's on my computer just so I can upload stuff. And I haven't uploaded anything in forever on TikTok because I don't get good views on TikTok. But I have not been on it in a long time.
So, yeah, because I think I agree what you said about mainly the negatives. There is so much negative stuff on this app that people get away with,
Yeah.
And I hate to bring this up because I hate bringing this up because I've known people this has happened to, but there has been constant child predators on this app going after kids.
Yep.
And the fact that it takes this app almost a month to ban them off is ridiculous.
They talk about the bunny guy or whatever?
Yes, that guy. He got, but when the allegations came out about, I'm going to use the James Charles one for example. Nobody batted an eye. People knew that it happened. They wanted him to get banned, but they said no. He's a big influencer. We can't ban him, so he'll just apologize and move on. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. There has been proof that he was trying to hook up with a 14-year-old boy. There was proof of that. And they just batted an eye and say, no, he's an influencer. We can't do that. And I'm like, that's what's driving this app downward into a downward spiral, which kind of hurts, kind of going on my other side of the positive. That hurts the other people that are actually producing good content, making people laugh, and going out of their way to promote themselves. That's what frustrates me, and that's what they're going to continue to do, because with that whole court case thing, which is beyond ridiculous, I'm not going to get into that. It just blows my mind how little effort it takes to get popular on an app, because all you need to do is post your content and then throw something underneath it to distract your user watching it, and you'll get billions of views. That's what kind of frustrates me on the negative portion of it.
So, Eli, real quick, I just wanted to, because I'm not personally someone who believes in deplatforming, but I do think there is a place for people to be held accountable for their, for what they do. Do you personally think that James Charles should have been banned from YouTube?
Yes, I think he should have gotten in trouble, and he didn't.
I think he should have gotten in trouble. I don't know that he should have got banned.
I don't think he should have. Okay, let me rephrase that. I don't think he should have lost his platform. But I also do think he should have
had repercussions for his actions.
Yes. Now that falls into what happened with Logan Paul in 2017. That is a big question mark.
So I think he reprimanded himself in a way. Like he took himself off the platform for a while.
Yeah, and he didn't. And the thing is, he didn't know about it, which I can kind of understand. He didn't know that's what that forest was for, and he had no idea. Which I kind of agree that was the smart move. Just like, look, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be off for a bit. This was too far because he didn't know that's what that was for.
I don't know that I think he might have known what that was. I think there was a thing that I heard about it when I watched Sunny V's video on it, Sunny V2 or whatever. He might have known about it, but I could be wrong. Like I could be 100% wrong. Whether he did or didn't,
he was probably informed about it. He might have just forgot about it.
That or he didn't think he would see any bodies.
Right, that too.
And so what happened was when he seen the body, he was like plugging his merch. He was doing all of this stuff, which was really bad. It was not good. He was not treating it as if there was a dead body there. He was treating it as, holy shit, there's clout hanging in a tree. Like, that's not how that should go. Like, that should never be treated, like, a human life should never be treated as a instance to get famous.
I wouldn't really say that somebody should lose their or what was the word you used?
I used deplatforming. They should not be
deplatformed. I wouldn't say deplatform, but I do think there should be a caution. They should just be suspended for like a month or something.
Or criminal charges. Like, honestly, criminal charges are not a bad idea.
Right.
I'm not saying they shouldn't be, like, reprimanded. They should, 100%. But taking them off the platform have proven more than not every single time that does not ruin their brand at all, and it actually makes them more famous.
Right. And then with the whole YouTube situation about a certain YouTuber, he said, "Oh, I'm going to do a charity donation to make up for all the allegations that were pressed against me." I'm like, no, that's not how it works. You should be sitting in jail.
Right. So, Tanner, do you have anything else you wanted to add to that?
Okay. I have a couple things. One, the whole thing you put in with subtitles, that has been a thing. Like, the whole, like, having something on screen like that has been a problem even before TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It started out with gaming where someone says something funny, so they take that quote, subtitle it, and that redraws in people's attention.
Right.
It started with people like Smitty, Donos Gaming, people like that who just did funny moments, and then it grew into this where it's kind of a problem, but I can see why people do it.
Right. And what I was saying there wasn't the fact that it created the problem, it just made it worse. It made it to the point where every single video, it's not even only funny moments. Every single video, most times than not, should have subtitles on it. Like 100% of the video should have subtitles on it. Where I do agree with you saying with the Vanoss crew, it was funny moments that had subtitles in it when you couldn't hear somebody as well. Or when it was just funny. We'll just use that. But that's different than what TikTok is. TikTok has created this atmosphere where it has affected long-form content. Whereas the funny moments was long-form content, and it was changing the way long-form content was, but it was only affecting long-form content.
Yeah. So I wasn't disputing that. I just thought it would be brought up that's where it evolved from.
Right, and it's not like I did kind of make it seem like you are not wrong. I did kind of make it seem like it was stemming from TikTok when that's not where it came from. It did not come from TikTok, but it made it worse. So, does anyone else have any more points they want to add?
I do have one more thing.
Okay.
And I don't want to get a whole into this because it's only going to go downhill, but one person I do believe been deplatformed and was, even though it did kind of make their brand bigger, it it was the point of they shouldn't have had the option to do it in the first place.
Okay.
Was Andrew Tate.
Okay.
Because there are multiple videos, multiple of him specifically saying that he just beat women, like, and he kept on just bragging about it and bragging about it. And even though he did, I feel like genuinely he deserved to be silenced because he
Well,
put out with
absolutely.
strong opinions that some of them I do kind of agree with, some of them, but then you realize what he's done, and I don't see the point of him having a voice in stuff like that in the first place.
I mean, let me just kind of go into that a little more because I'm not arguing with you at all about that, and we are more than willing to like have different opinions on whether he should or shouldn't have been deplatformed. But I think we can both all agree with here he was not a very good person at all. Like whether he did or didn't do
Absolutely.
what he did, what he's alleged to do, he is not a good person and has created a big culture of very toxic individuals. And
Yeah.
so back to what you were saying, Tanner. You were saying there was a few points you would agree with him on, and that's the way he did his content. Was he would
Yep.
sprinkle in a little obvious truth like, well, women are women. I said that, but now women need to be property. Like, he will sprinkle in some very obvious things that everybody will agree with inside of his big absurd statements. Like, it's
Yeah.
and then a lot of his culture was the dunking culture that I was referring to earlier, where it's constantly trying to make other people look bad. And that's what I was saying is that's a horrible way to live your life, and that's a horrible way to make content. So I don't agree he should have been deplatformed, but we're not going to go into that because it's like whether he did or should or shouldn't have been, he is not on the platform and is now facing criminal charges. Like I think
Yeah.
the way that it should happen. Okay.
Yep.
So, thank you guys so much for joining me again. This has been an amazing episode. Honestly, I have enjoyed every minute of it. When it came from talking about Ryan Gosling shirtless to Oppenheimer, sorry, and then to Andrew Tate. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you press a like, whatever all the buttons you have to do for each like platform. But I love you guys so much for watching, and it's awesome, absolutely awesome, and we enjoy doing this. Thank you guys, and peace.